news I want to cover, but really give you about this government money stuff and how how to get rich using it. I mean, I still think that's the best way, but I'm biased, so you can't trust anybody selling you anything, and I got something to sell, so that's my biased nature, whatever it is. Hold on. That's why really what I try to do in selling something. Man, you don't like what you bought and I oversold it. You send it back. I'll refund your money no matter what. No matter what your reason. Okay, let me see what's on. Anybody on Periscope there? Yeah, we got something. But that's still hot lights, isn't it? Why is that hot lights? Hot lights. Let me get this. How's that? Anyway. Oh, does that help a little bit? A little bit, maybe. Makes it a little interesting for that wide shot. That's not so bad. What do you think, Periscope? Give me a shout, and what do you think? Let's see, where the heck is a Periscope? Okay, smartest way to get rich in America. In America. In America, in America. Is that, what did you say? Say something. How about Periscope? Is that lighting on that face? I mean, I know this isn't the Today Show. Who the hell cares? And place them off camera to the left, right out of the frame. I see. Off camera to the left. Right, left. So, okay. We got some... some little lighting quiz here. Actually, that's a little better now, right? The face, actually, but YouTube's always screwed. I mean, not YouTube, but Facebook is always. I have a hurricane damage. I've been offered a loan through Small Business Administration. Well, if it's the Small Business Administration, okay, but not if it's a Small Business Association. So if it's a government agency, okay, because they're the most lenient. If you run into problems with a loan, so that's important thing. Turn off the lights behind you. I sort of like that, don't you? No, okay. Let's see if that works. Is that any better? But see, now my face doesn't light up that much, does it? It's sort of intriguing. Isn't that light a little intriguing? Or you think this is better, guys? Who told me to turn off the light? You think that's okay? Actually, yeah, that is. What the hell, huh? What do you think? Is the lighting okay? Come on, what do you think about... Okay, turn off that light. Is that better or not? I did, yes. But is that lighting okay? Who told me to turn off that light? Because I sort of think it sort of makes it interesting. Lighting's fine. Looks great on YouTube. Boop, 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 boop. well, at my age, I can't go for handsome or, your rock hard abs or everything is supposed to be sexy for men. So I really got to just work on cute. That's about the only thing I can do. Well, actually, one of the things I want to show you. Oh, I know what I got to do. It is. I gotta change. Oh yeah, there. I want to show some clips today. So in the news today, you got to be careful if you have a student loan. Okay, DeVos, that's the head of the Department of Education, prevails in efforts to shrink Education Department. Okay, DeVos fails to shrink. So she's going to shrink the Department of Education. But this is going to affect your student loans, okay? Here's what's interesting. They're cutting down on staff. So to handle problems, like see if you're discriminated against in school, in college or whatever, you go to them and they're the cops that come out and make sure you're not discriminated against. So it's one of our, besides the EEOC, Office of Employment and whatever, Discrimination Office, this is the only other place besides the Department of Justice that enforces it. But here's what they have now about student loans you should know about. Okay, they have more than 87,000 applications for student debt relief. Okay, this is how to get out of your student loans if you have trouble paying, okay? And don't go to anybody on the internet that promise you they're going to reduce your student loan and all that kind of stuff. No, you want to find out how to do that yourself, because they're just going to get money for the same program that they're going to get you in. But more importantly, now they're backed up, okay? And there's 87,000 applications for student loans relief that are being reviewed by just 14 people. Okay, 14 people, 87,000 applications. What the hell are they going to do with it? According to people within the agency who spoke on conditions of anonymity because they are not authorized to speak publicly, the education officials have reassigned more staff to that team, but people familiar with the matter say leadership in that Office of Federal Aid Student Loan and the Office of General Counsel lack adequate process. Okay, here's the other thing. 10,000 claims for debt relief have been recommended for approval. With the issue, they say there is no consensus on the path forward. So in other words, they approved 10,000 people get their student loans relief, but it's sitting there. Okay, it's sitting there. So what the hell are you going to do as an individual if you want to get a student loan debt relieved or don't have to pay it or pay a lesser amount and all that kind of stuff? You contact your elected official. That's how to get these people moved. They move by Congress. So your elected official, you have a congressman and 2 senators. You call all 3 of those suckers, because that's the only fight you have. You're going to call their 800 number at the Department of Education. You're not going to get anywhere. You're going to get some stuff, that just, soothes you for the moment, and you go away and you give up the fight, So if you want to get some pressure on them, and the more people that call their elected official, the more these suckers are going to change, and do what they said they were going to do in the first place. That's the problem. They said they would do this, and now somebody's changing the rules on you. How do you like to somebody change the rules on them, Oh, no. Oh, you won, the popular vote. Oh, no, we don't go by that anymore. We decided not to. That's what they're doing, So that's your recourse. So make sure you get it, because the more people that call them, if they're stuck there, then the more likely something will happen. You and I going down and storming the gates probably ain't going to do much. It may help. Who the hell knows? But until you do that. You call your elected official, okay? So I don't want you to forget to do that. And if you have student loan problems, okay, you go now, you contact. There's a hotline. You go to consumerfinance.gov and put in student loans, and you'll find the office and the 800 number and everything and all the help you need to get what's legally, reduce that student loan amount or forgive it, and all that kind of stuff is all public information, and these people are very good. And if you have trouble with your finance company that's screwing you over, you call them, file a complaint, and they contact you and get you an answer within 14 days, okay? So you have nothing to do. You're going to hire a lawyer, a banker, or whatever, this kind of stuff. They're going to charge you money and get money for you. So there's no reason to do that. Now let's get down to the task at hand. And the task at hand to me is how to be a rich sucker with not with student money, but with government money. And I'm getting really pissed, actually, at all this stuff. Okay, here's what's going on now. We're going to have a tax cut coming. These are some numbers here. See the top number? That $20 trillion. $20 trillion. Okay, $20 trillion. That's the debt. We have $1 trillion. What the hell is a trillion? I don't know. You don't know. It's a shitload of money, right? So we're $20 trillion in debt. I think the federal budget is like $6 trillion or something like that. I forget. I'll have to look at it. I've been doing this so long, I have numbers from the 90s in my head or whatever. So I may be wrong, but we have a government debt. Our country owes $7 trillion. Okay, now in the new tax law, okay, here's how people become wealthy, rich suckers, right? Okay, in the tax law, people, they're going to give out $1.7 trillion, And they say, well, hey, that's not a grant. Yeah, but it's money from the government because the government has to pay. They're not cutting the government. They're giving out money, so they can't pay things. So now they're going to have to get a loan for $1 trillion because they're giving people $1 trillion from the budget. So people are going to get $1.7 trillion from the budget, okay? Now, here's what's interesting. In that tax law, the $1.7 trillion that people are going to get, 80%, see, 80% is about 1.3 trillion. So 80% of that 1.7 trillion, not billion, trillion. You have millions, you have billions, then you have trillions. If you're big enough and rich enough, you know what the hell it is. I have no idea. But 1.3 trillion is going to go to the top 1% of our country. So the top 1% families are going to get 80% of that $1.7 trillion. Now, isn't that cool? Look at these people have to do nothing. And they're going to make, I think in the next 10 years, it comes out to be $1 million a piece. So they're going to get, because there's about 1 million people, households that are in the 1%, because we got about 112 million households. So roughly, 1 million are in the 1% of households. So you got 1 million people are going to get 80% of this money, and that comes out to over $1 million a piece. So they're going to get over $1 million a piece for doing what? Lobbying. That's right. All they did was lobby. They didn't create shit in the country, right? All they did was change the law. That's right. The way to make real money in this country is not by providing a good or a service or something that's needed in the society. No! You go and change the law. How else are you going to make $1 million without any work? You don't have to work. You don't have to do anything. You just have to take a congressman to dinner, right? And you get $1 million. Isn't that fantastic? That's not fantastic at all, is it? But that's the system. Right or wrong, that's how we live. And that's it. Now it's so funny too, because now that's why if they pass this thing, that's what's going to happen. So if they pass this thing, there's going to be 1 million people who are going to get 80% of the benefits. So 1% of us are going to get 80% of the benefits. That's sort of fair, isn't it? Do you think that's fair? They're going to talk about how you're going to get $100 or something like that. But these suckers are getting $1 million. And they're getting 80% of the thing. Now, what's interesting to me, when they were doing the health care bill that didn't make it, remember they were going to reform health care? Well, in the health care bill, they had the same thing. The rich people, see this thing over here, this thing? Well, they were going to get, look at all the other incomes. On the bottom are the incomes level. So people make no income, people make very little. Well, down here, they were going to lose money. They were going to have to spend more money on healthcare, all these people. And then the very rich, they make money. Ding, 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 ding. You're a winner. Ding, 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 ding. Why? No goddamn idea at all. Somehow they put a tax thing in there to give the rich people all this money, millions and billions of dollars, trillions probably, But so the average person making $200,000 would get an extra almost $6,000 a year. So if you were making $200,000 or more, the health care law would have given you $6,000. If you were making $20,000 a year, you would have to pay $1,000. If you were making $30,000 a year, you'd have to pay about $700. So how is it in a healthcare bill that someone making 50 grand has to pay $1,000 and someone making 200 grand gets how much? $6,000. Crazy, isn't it? I don't know. So help. Let's pray, and if you bitch about it, maybe we could get a change. I don't know. But see, to me, if people are getting all, so why we have to have that because of jobs, okay, or something like that. But I mean, it seems to me that the rich people are getting everything. I think I've shown this graph before. This show. See, I started thinking, well, okay, well, if the rich are making more money, that means maybe that are we as a country making more money or whatever? Are we sharing this money evenly? We're all working our butt off, right? We're all working for people or working hard ourselves or whatever and trying to make this country grow or whatever. So is this a fair share? Maybe because there's only a few people, so it just looks bad or something. And then when I saw this data, here, this data, see the top line you see is that's how much we're growing. So this is our productivity. We're growing more as a country. Okay, so that means we're creating more income and all. That's our growth rate. But wage rate is flat. Wages are going flat. So everybody's working, growing the country, and who's getting it, right? Not you or me, because here's a graph that shows actually since 1979 how it started out the same. The growth of rich people, the top 1%. Is this 1%? Yes, the top 1% and the bottom 20%. We're growing about the same, and then the top 1%. They grew since then, what? Over 200%. Everybody else grew, like 39%. So they grew 10 times faster. Why? Is this sharing the wealth or not? Or is this somebody grabbing a lot? Yeah. So the share of total income. So shouldn't like 1% have the same share of income? So if we're all working together and we say, okay, we'll divvy this up. You get X percent of the income, and you get Y percent of the income, or whatever. Well, I mean that would sound fair in a way, right? But why is it that that's not happening? See, this is a graph, and this goes back from 1900, so 1913. See, this is in the Gilded Age. Over here in this thing, 1920s, when we had right before the recession, all the rich people were taking everything, and then it killed the whole economy. Then we started getting normal, whatever, and people were growing individually. Then, as a percentage, what they were getting, see, it grew. See, they used to get like what, just 8-9% of the pie. Now they're getting 22% of the pie. So they go for 8% of the pie to 22% of the pie, the same percentage. So this is a percentage, not because there's more rich people. No, the most, the rich people, the percentage of rich people are getting a bigger piece of the pie. Now, why, if the pie is growing, why is somebody getting more and I ain't? That seems to be the issue. So that's why, to me, that's why people, the rich say, oh, we work hard for our money. And what do you mean work harder for money? You go down and change the law and make an extra $1 million. Who the hell can do that? Yeah, you and I don't, right? We can't go down and change the law and get an extra $1 million. You're within the law to do so, and sounds fair. If you have competitors paying more, then you might have some issues. Nuclear armament. I want to pay my employees minimum wage in order to remain cost dependent. Yeah, I mean, all those that, people tell me, all that stuff is true, but don't. This is a macro level. I mean, there's all kind of issues on the micro level, individual. Sure, you have to stay in business, you have to do all this kind of stuff. But if you're making more money, so maybe you're not with your business, so you can share it with the employees. But as a country, we are making more money. And somebody's not sharing. They're getting, how could they go from 8% to 20%? So I mean, it's complicated, but tell me why I'm stupid, because I am. I have SAT scores to prove that. They'll show you I have 2 above plant life, when I took the SAT test. And I actually did it again recently. Took the test with my kids, not recently, maybe about 15 years ago, when they first took them. But I was like, oh, my old guy, sitting in the row with everybody taking the SAT test, and they were doing. And another thing, see, the other thing about this, we are going to go into debt, another $1.7 trillion. Okay, so we as a country are going to have to pay interest on that debt. Okay, who has money? Who's going to get that interest rate, right? who's going to get the interest rate? Right, the same people who just got $1 million to pay them. So they just get $1 million, you know, and we all kick in to pay them $1 million. Now we got a loan, and they're gonna buy the bond that supported them to get the money. So then we have to pay the interest rate to give them more money because we gave them the money. Now that seems really dumb, doesn't it? We have the option of not having that debt, not have to pay the interest rate on it, right? But we do that. Somebody's telling me to stop. Well, it seems, if I'm wrong, tell me something, you know, that it doesn't seem wrong. How would I find grants or block grants for real estate or construction minorities in particular? Yeah, block grants for real estate, they start at the federal level, but then the best place, if you Google your state right now and you put community development block grants and the name of your state, you'll get a state office. Now, when you go to that state office, then you have to find your county office, you know, that has that information, and then go to see that out. And these people, I mean, many of them, and I research a lot of these local offices that have this money for housing and building houses and developers and all that kind of stuff, and they have seminars on how to apply for the money. They help you fill out the applications, all this kind of stuff. This is all public information. So you got to find, you know, and it's usually in the Office of Community Development in your state. I mean, in your county. But start at the state government because they're usually more organized because your county may be a little disorganized or whatever. So it's better to start at the state government and find that out at the state level. And then they'll show you where locally to get it because that's how the funding goes. It goes to the federal government, they get a big pot, send it to the states, every state gets so much, and then every state gets it, and then every city, county, whatever gets so much, and then they give it out to people, you know, entrepreneurs or you know, nonprofit organizations, and that's where Trump made most of his money. Actually, in the beginning, he made it all. He was running, you know, with community block grant money in Ohio, and his first major deal was with a government program in Cincinnati, you know, in that thing. So that's why, you know, the rich people know that system. So that's why, to me, it is. If you were ignoring the government because there's something wrong with that, I mean, to me, there's something more wrong about somebody getting $1 million from the government and not doing something, you know, and making us pay for it, you know. But I could be wrong. I've been wrong a lot of times. Yeah. Many times. I got 2 wives to prove it. So that's it. Now, the other thing, too, is, okay, blood in, blood out. I mean, a lot of these things are important too, you know, but why is it important? I mean, it doesn't seem like rich people have a problem, you know, paying bills. When we have so many people, you know, wages aren't going up, you know, we have a high, you know, still poverty rate. There are 9 million kids who can't eat, you know. We have all these kind of issues, and we spend so much time and other people's money, you know, to give it to rich people. I guess the theory is that they'll create jobs with that money. I think they could get money right now if they had a good way to make money with it, right? So why are we giving... They don't have a problem getting money. So why would giving them money do any of that? How many sevens is that? Wow, I don't know. It looks like at least 1 trillion sevens, right? That you're writing about there. The question was that question was really to Matthew. Love what you teach, but not your politics. Well, we all got politics. I mean, I try to be fair. I mean, it's politics that hurt people. I mean, that's why I don't care what anybody's politics are. I don't feel I have politics. I think it's well, intellectually dishonest to be to have a party or anything like that, because then you see a problem and you want to solve it one way, and there's lots of ways to solve problems. I'm interested in solving problems, not enjoying an ideology. Ideology is like being a glutton. You just want more and more and more and more. You know, and sometimes one ideology works, sometimes another works. I mean, nobody's got a corner on the market of what works. You know. And that's why I think ideology it just perpetuates that, So I think I don't have an ideology, but that's only my opinion, and I'm wrong a lot of times, so I could be wrong about that too. Okay, let's see. Ever heard of infinite banking concept? No. Sounds interesting, but if you need a job, I don't think many people are too concerned about it, but it's nice to, then the communists take over. Well, I don't know. I mean, it's balancing everything out. Sure, it's like everything like that is, that to me then means you have an ideology. You think that one thing is a slippery slope leads to everything. If I have one scoop of ice cream, I'm going to be fat for the rest of my life. Well, that may or may not happen, but it's it's not guaranteed. But if it's hurting other people, and you have to have priorities in life too. And I don't understand why our priorities is to give money to rich people and take away from other people, that really are hurting now. I mean, why do we have this opioid death rate? I mean, we have more middle-class people killing themselves now than anywhere else in the world, and because they don't see an opportunity is what I have it. So why don't we put that into something that helps people get trained or better jobs or whatever, even healthcare. Why is healthcare costing more now? And even the change was just going to make it cost more, even that, and then give more money to rich people. And that's something, that was the health bill that thank God didn't pass. Obamacare is a mess. Healthcare is a mess. But what's going on now? States are increasing Medicaid. And why do we pay twice as much as any other developed country for health care? So right now you could cut your health care payment in half if you lived anywhere else in the world, in a developed country, not in outer Mongolia, but any developed country. So that's we have to look at that and consider what the hell, if we're doing something right. And I think most of it's because of some ideology. No, it can't be done this way because we're all going to get hell if that happens. We got to be more open-minded about the world is changing, and that probably won't happen. Any recommendation for someone working with poor credit to get a car? Yes, I have a report that shows you ways to get a car for free. There are a whole bunch of nonprofit organizations that give out cars for free. And also fix up cars. There's some states that have money to help you buy a car too. How do you find them? It takes work. I mean, I do it. If you go to lesko.com/ well, actually the thing I have, lesko.com/one-stop. Lesko.com/one-stop. That's all one word. I have that information in there, and I have a separate report if you want to download just a separate report and see that on my. But you want to research it yourself. You call your local 211 is a good place to do it. You go your county office of community development. They're the people who get that kind of money and do it, and it's usually at the state level. So particularly if you have to use it to get to work, then you go to your career one-stop center or your workforce development, because they know about the programs that are up there, to pay for transportation and everything, because what they want to do is get you to work, so that's important to do. And they're the main places I check. And what I have is a list of all those organizations in that report if you want me to do the research. And by the way, I have that one on. If you want to take a course on that, I'm on Udemy. If you go to lesko.com/course, COURSE, and you will see the Udemy course on that. I got a bunch of courses that may be interesting to you. Anything he skips over, I'm sure, is covered on his website. We the people are distracting him. Please repeat your site. It is, thank you. That was my mother that called. No, actually she's dead, so it can't be. I'm an old fart. I don't have parents anymore. But when people call me Mr. Lesko, I still look around for my father. I'm writing this down, Sue, for you guys. Sloppy handwriting, but lesko.com/one-stop and lesko.com/course. Lesko.com/one-stop and lesko.com/course. Okay, that's a way to get it there. Okay. And that's pretty cool. Well, that comes out. Okay. But yes, what I don't know. Well, that's a different issue. I'm really trying to get information sources for people to improve their lives. Okay, and when I see, money that should be given to people to improve their lives, not people already have pretty good lives. Why are we doing that? That's what upsets me, because I'm trying to make sure everybody knows about the programs that are available to improve your life. So if you want to get a job, okay, if you go to your workforce development program right now, if you Google your county or your state and just put workforce development, okay, these are the kinds of things you're going to find. Number one, a lot of states, what they have now is free money to live on, to start a business. So if you lost your job, you can now use your unemployment. It varies by state, so you have to check the state to have free money to live on. Okay, now that's pretty cool. Okay, and they also, a lot of these states too, have places that train you to be an entrepreneur. Okay, so that's right, not to get a job, but to be an entrepreneur. Because see, starting a business is just as good, for people to keep people working as it is getting a job, and that's probably even being more successful at. And so that's interesting. I mean, to me, this is where we're going, so you have to be careful. Okay, now you also can get up to $9,000 to train for a new job. So if you lost your job and you want to, oh gosh, I hated that anyway. I was just doing this, I hated it. Now I want to be maybe a coder or something like that. Or I want to be a massage therapist, and learn massage and be trained in that and do that. Okay, well, that kind of money is there. I mean, every county will have hundreds and hundreds of programs. Depends on the county, so maybe they only have 100. Others will have more, and it depends on where you live. And what they do is pay for your tuition and everything, and then they have extra money maybe for transportation, whatever you need, to get by. But see, that's not a grant. So people are looking for grants, but you want to get trained and get a better job, well, that's a program you could use that is not a grant. That's why if you're looking for grants, that's stupid almost. Because most of this, first of all, 80% of just the free money that's given out is not even called grants. It's called something else, like direct payments or loans you don't have to pay back and stuff like that. And then you're missing services like this. Oh, people are picking up the bill for you, then that's just as good as a grant, isn't it? If you're trying to get a grant to pay for something and somebody's going to pay for it for you, that's why you can't look for a grant. You miss so much. You don't want to miss stuff. You want to get stuff and do things in life. And that's what this stuff is for. So how are you going to get as much stuff as possible so you can do as much as possible? And that's the key. Nobody knows what the hell to do, but you have to go out and try anything. And doing nothing is wrong. Doing anything is better than doing nothing. So it doesn't matter what you do, just try one and do it, because that'll lead to something else. So you have that. So you got $8,000. Now here's another program too. You can get your workforce development. They will pay you like up to 90% of your salary, to your boss to pay for your salary, because you don't know shit about what you're doing. So you're looking for a job and they say, well, yeah, hey, you're nice, I think you'd fit in great here or whatever, but you don't know anything about this, do you? Yeah, but hey, I know, you could tell the guy hiring, say, I know where you can get money to pay most of my salary while I learn. So maybe it takes you 3 months, 6 months to learn or something. So they're getting money. I looked at some of those Founders Institute, but they don't focus on or help for ideas, strange entrepreneurs. I'm not sure what Founders Institutes are. Somebody on YouTube talking to me. I feel locked out of opportunities quite often. Oh, you will be. We all are. It's where you look and how much you look and everything. I mean, the key in life is not stopping when you're locked out, because you will be. It's sort of like asking a girl to dance. You get turned down 10 times, you got to just keep going, man. You don't have an option. Your option is doing nothing. And that's a terrible option. But anyway, so down at, where were we? Training. So that's right. Your boss now, you don't know what to do on the job, Oh, the accelerators, yeah. That's what. Oh, accelerators, yeah. That may or may not work. Okay, get back to your two places: your Office of Economic Development and your state capital, and your local small business development center. Coming back. Okay, going live. Maybe cut out for everyone else. No. Yeah, it did cut out. I think somebody. I'm using a phone, the camera on the phone, and somebody called it. I keep forgetting to turn off the phone. Yeah, so that's what I got to do. Make sure you have all the accelerators. Find a list, on that. And then you have to start being more creative. To me, what's great about being turned down, that makes you more smart. Smarter is the word. That makes you smarter. And that's what's cool, because that's what's great about being turned down. It expands your mind. Okay, that doesn't work. I thought it would. How much did your advertisement cost in the 90s? Well, it cost me nothing, because when I learned the system, the learning the system is not to pay for advertising and only give them a piece of what you get. And then I made millions doing that, by not paying. In the beginning, I paid for everything. The same way on the internet, you got to pay for something. Everything. Oh, I can't. I have to start a business. I don't have marketing money. I need a grant for marketing money. No, you don't. If you do that, you're just going to piss away the grant and then be back to square one and not learn anything. And that's why you have to do it like that. Is find where you do deals with people. You got to have products that's good enough that you don't have to pay. They'll pay it because they think it'll sell with their thing. The advertisers will come to you and say, "Yeah, buy this. You're going to make a lot of money." And you just say, "Okay, I will. I'll split the money with you, whatever I get." See how the good, they back up what the hell they say, and that's it. Because you can't, if you're small, if you're a fat cat and somebody give you $10 million, sure, then you can piss away a lot of money till you figure it out. But you're a small cat, a kitten, a kitty. And so you can't afford to do that. And you have to be more creative at doing that. And people on the internet's teaching you how to buy advertising. Yeah, they say this works. Yes, it did work, because somebody has a shitload of money and was able to figure it out. That worked for them. It's not going to work for you, and you don't have a lot of money. So you have to find another way to do that. And that's the key to life. How are you going to do it without money? Because you don't have any. And if you had it, you won't ever have enough probably to figure it out. So getting little is not going to help. We'd love to get the spots you had. There's some on YouTube, I think. Email me, letsgofreeradio@gmail.com. I must have something somewhere. Whatever. I did dozens and dozens of them. Only about 3 or 4 made any money. See, that's what I mean. The very, very few made money. That's why when I first started spending hundreds of thousands of dollars in advertising and creating these things, and most of them won't work. I can't do this all day. So I had to figure out how not to pay money and how to figure it out. And that's when I started making big money, when I didn't pay for anything. So that's what I'm trying to get anybody new, to figure that out. That's what's going to be worth figuring out. That's going to be worth you surviving and knowing how to survive without somebody giving you a chunk of cash. If you need a chunk of cash to do anything, then you just don't have a good idea. So you got to think of something else. And that's important, I think, because it's too easy. People say, "Oh, I couldn't, my business didn't fail and succeed because I didn't have a lot of money." Well, that's probably not right. I mean, maybe, but I doubt it. If you had something to sell, then you just need sales. Never before screen talent studios. How can any individual get money to start up an idea or concept? And what I mean is not a patent, but a money I need because I have no money or a job. In order to make money, I need money. Well, you don't. In order to make money, you need a customer. And to provide them something. What do you got to sell? Your talent or whatever. And go find somebody to buy it. And how are you going to do that? There's a lot of websites and stuff like that. You get lists and you do a website that, hey, I do this. And that costs you $20 or something to do that. And then you go find somebody who's going to pay for what you do. That's going to be a trial and error, but it costs you nothing. Let's see. Do you have a good report? Prepared for Virginia. I will do them now. So if you go to one, I used to do these complete reports of 327 personal grants for every state were $79. Now I cut that down by 25%, so it's $59. Just go to lesko.com/one-stop. ONESTOP. Okay, lesko.com one-stop. Okay, and and I have states, a few states already done complete. If your state isn't complete, just put the one, do my state. And I do that for the same price, and I get it to you. It just may take 2 weeks, to get it to you. And that's important. Let me hold this a little bit. There, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 1, 2, one stop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's what's there. And look at the courses, lesko.com/course. I'm sorry, I got political today, but I mean, I think it's almost immoral. So many, if things are legal, it doesn't mean it's moral. And I think we have to take care of each other. I mean, this is what a society is. I mean, you want to leave somebody next door to somebody who doesn't give a shit if your house is burning? And they pull out a lawn chair and watch as your house is burned? No, aren't we here to help each other? I assume. If I don't, and if I'm wrong, that's fine. It's something inside me that feels it's inside all of us, and that's what we should be doing for each other. But I guess there's people that don't. And that's acceptable. You're allowed. That's what's great America. You're allowed to be an asshole. That's what's neat about it. So, you have a right to be and do anything you want. And that's cool. Are there any grants out there for product development, R&D? Angling towards consumer product development, money to research and development, the physical prototype of an idea. Crowdfunding is great for that. People use crowdfunding for that a lot, and that's a lot easier than applying for any grant. Yes, for ideas and developing ideas, there's a small SBIR, Small Business Innovative Research Grants. They're pretty complicated, but there's grant money at the state level to help you get one of those grants. Department of Agriculture has R&D money for consumer products if it's agriculture related, and they have R&D money there to market you develop a new product and to market and stuff like that. Check with your state offices. The political information was good to learn. I was not aware of it. Okay, thank you, Teresa. No, I mean, it's something that I want to share with people to know, and if you hate me for it, man, I got a lot of people that hate me. That doesn't bother me as much as it used to. I mean, you can't please everybody. And if you're not being yourself, then you're not anything. You can't contribute anything in society. So I think our contribution to society is what's different about us. If we're all the same, then nothing really gets done. It's like having a closet full of same color suits, but actually I know a lot of people do have colors of blue suits. Mobility handicap equipment for a van, specialty. I found a website that is pretty good on what the state programs have to buy a van, and there is technology assistant. Every state has an office also to use, like to buy a van because you have a disability, or use some other technology because you have a disability. Appropriate technology assistance program, and put your state and make sure it's a .org or a .gov, and that's a good place to start for looking for money like that. And there's also a main business that sells I think handicapped scooters, but they also keep they were pretty good. I mean, nobody's perfect, but you got to put pieces together of what's out there, of a lot of the programs that are out there to help you buy vans. Okay. Also, if it's something like that, I would still look at the free things that are available, free cars and vans. That's the report I have about free cars. I have it on the Udemy course, so if you go to lesko.com/course, go to that one, and you'll see that there. I agree with Teresa. Well, thank you, Criminal Zoo. For custom reports, do we need to specify what we're looking for? You include everything. No, for the one-stop reports, Criminal Zoo, what I do is show you 300 and some sources of personal grants, extra income money, all money you don't have to pay back. Every government service and program to help you with your living expenses where you live. All the extra sources of money and free help on the internet with crowdfunding and crowdsourcing and things like that. None of these programs cost you any money that I have, even the internet ones. You do it for free. You only pay them a small percentage of any money you get. And that's what I have. So that's the one stop. So that's the most general thing, for all the government programs. So it's for housing, paying your mortgage, all these kinds of things, living expenses, legal help, everything. So that's the biggest thing I've done in my life, I think, the most important work I've done in my life. The other two reports, I have a separate one on housing and a separate one for starting a business. So if you look at lesko.com/one-stop, lesko.com/one-stop, okay, and you could see I have a half a dozen or so states already. If your state isn't there, then I do a custom, and it's the same thing, and I still only charge $59 for it. I want to get as many of these out there as possible. Wow, even if you haven't done the state, willing to lower the, yes, because I want to get that. I think the most important work I have to do is to make sure every family in America knows everything that they could take advantage of in this country. The fat cats come down to Washington and change laws so they know what's available. This is all the data I talked about. So they get their money. They get everything from the government and then some, because they just have a new law made. I want some more money. The rest of us don't do that, so we should know what is available. And that's what I'm trying to do, to make sure every American knows what this country has to offer them. And it's really all to improve your life. And that's why the other thing, to me, I think that's what government should be doing. People, to improve the life. I mean, why do millionaires need their life improved? I don't know. I'd rather help you and get something for you to improve your life. They're the people we have, and that seems a more worthwhile thing to do. That's why I started this business helping Fortune 500 companies. See? And they would call me, and I'd find them millions of dollars and all this kind of stuff. I said, shit, man, why do they need more money? Making millionaires billionaires. That's what I was doing. Oh, God, no. Why doesn't everybody know about this? And that's why it frustrates me when I see more going to them. Why waste our energy doing that? We have too many, people in our country that really need help. And how do we help them? So, okay, guys, let me go. I got to do research. And if Criminal Zoo hires me, I got to do his too now, too. So, I'll be there. Thank you for everything and putting up with my so-called politics. Whatever you want to call it is fine. Just remember my website. Take care. Okay, I think one of the best places to start to look for grant money for your nonprofit is your library, because it's free. And actually, it's for certain kind of grants. If you want government grants, don't go to the library yet. What to do is you want to know about grants from foundations, as they call it. Now, these are other nonprofits that give grant money to smaller nonprofits or big nonprofits or anything. But it's nonprofits that are giving away money to nonprofits. Like maybe you heard of the Ford Foundation or these big, companies that have ways to give money to the community and things like that. So how do you find them? See, because in addition to or instead of government programs, they're the places that, give money to nonprofit organizations. Now, the problem is, like 90% of all these foundations, and there's hundreds of thousands of them, don't have websites. So that means if you're going to go searching on the internet to try to find grants from foundations, they won't show up because they don't have websites. So what they do have, though, they have to file information with the IRS and other public organizations or whatever. And there's private companies that gather all that information. I used to be a company like that, back in my information days. And they gather all that information and they sell it. So they go to the IRS and other places where they have to file out forms, and they put it in a database, which is available on the on the internet, but it's on their website. And they want you to pay because that's how they make money. So that's what you'll find, and you think you'll have to pay. But there's a way around that. And see, they charge, $1,000, $2,000 a year to be able to use that website. So if you're starting a business or a nonprofit and looking for grant money, you don't want to pay out $2,000 and maybe get a grant from a foundation. Well, if you have that kind of money, God bless you. Maybe you do and it makes sense for you. But for a lot of people, it doesn't. So the libraries, many libraries around the country have access to those databases. So they want to provide, the community with information. So they subscribe to those databases. You could go into the library and use them. But call the library first, because many times they may not have it, and they'll have to point you to another library. So what to do is contact your local library, call them up, ask them if they have, access to those two databases, GuideStar and the Foundation Center. Okay, and see if they have those. So they're competitors. So you could look at each, both, or one, or whatever you want to do. And another thing about the library, what they have neat things too, they have librarians usually who know how to use that database. Now, it's supposedly user-friendly and anybody could use it, but if you haven't used it before, it may be good to have somebody to point you exactly what you want. So you can make an appointment. They also have, a lot of libraries have what's called book a librarian. Now that's pretty cool. Instead of calling me up and I'll charge you money, you can call them up and it'll be free, and you go there and you get like a half hour at a time. And again, this depends on the library where you live. So if your local library doesn't have it, call, ask them who is the nearest library, because they would have it. And if you can't find that, then what to do is contact the Foundation Center directly. So if you Google Foundation Center, then they'll tell you what libraries have it in the area. But most big public libraries have it. Now, there's two databases there. There's the Foundation Center directory, and then there's GuideStar directory. You could go on GuideStar right now, even at home, and you could get a lot of the information for free. But I think it's wise to start at the library, because they could tell you about it more and whatever, and then they could even show you what more you will have. Because see, what's neat is you could go into those databases and you're looking for, grant money for your organization, and say you live in, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Well, to me, it would behoove you to find organizations in Pennsylvania who interested in solving the problem that you want to work on. Say maybe you want to help kids or the elderly, or turn your community green, or whatever it is. So there's foundations that have all different kind of problems. So the problem is, the closer you could get to home, that the people feel they know you, because it's a people business. Everything is still a people business, even though with the internet, they're giving it to individuals. So if you're local and part of their community, then you have a better chance of getting it than from some outfit in California that gives money, for something like this. So start local, And so that's two databases. It's GuideStar, and the other is the Foundation Center. The Foundation Center even has classes, and they teach people who run nonprofit organizations and things like that. But the most important thing is finding out where the money is. And those two databases are free at the library, right? So if you're a nonprofit, you don't have a lot of money. So use the free one first.